what each plant likes the best. Find out the conditions, just like those little tags. Find out where do you grow the best? Who do you grow the? And if you missed the last podcast, I asked a lot of questions to try to figure out, how we can grow best, what our environment can be like the best. And so I encourage you to check that out if you haven't heard it yet. And then plant those seeds, amend that soil, get the right environment for yourself and for other people. Find out what makes them tick and how they grow the best. Um, then, not every plant is meant to be in my garden. Not every idea that I can think of is for me to do. And sometimes that's tough. Sometimes we see a beautiful plant that we would like to have in our garden, but it doesn't grow well in our zone, in our area. It's just not meant to be. I've been out to Arizona a few times. My wife and I went for our anniversary last November. There's beautiful plants out there growing in that desert. They're not going to do well here. I'm not planning to plant any saguaros in my yard because I don't have the environment that they need. It's far too wet, and far too cool a lot of the year for them to do well. So just realize that every idea may not be for you, and that's absolutely okay. Other people may do really well with those things. That's great. Let them celebrate them, but realize it may not be for your garden. Find the ones that grow well in your garden, in your area, and plant those and tend those. Another thing to remember is that each moment of the garden offers something beautiful. Usually when we start a garden, we have this brilliant idea of what it's going to look like. And it can take a long time, if ever, to fulfill. We may feel the same way about our lives. Boy, there's just this way I need my life to look. And these other people, they look like they've got it. They look so successful. They look so happy. Well, you know what? They might be fighting battles nobody knows anything about. They just don't show it on the outside. So many celebrities we've seen and people who seem like they had it made ended up taking their own lives, something missing. Um, and I have a friend that's been through AA, and she told me that one of the principles that they have in AA is never compare your inner reality to somebody else's outward appearance. People can look like they've got it all together. I unfortunately have known a number of people, they seem like they had it together. And later in that same week that I had seen them, they took their own lives. What things look like on the inside were not what things look like on the outside. They had a good appearance, all put together, but there was something missing on the inside. So don't compare your inner reality to somebody else's outward appearance. Just stay patient, stay the course, keep persevering, keep bringing in the right things, keep doing the right things, trust the process, and eventually things are going to look a whole lot more like you want them to. Don't give up uh, just because your garden isn't what you want it to look like yet. Okay, just keep at it, keep doing the right things. And another thing to do is to appreciate each flower in the garden. One of my favorite things to do in the mornings is just to walk around the yard and look at each individual plant and seeing how it's doing. If all you want is that big impressive garden, you might miss the beauty and the value of each individual plant. Who's in your garden? I think that's a great question. Who's in your garden? Who are the people who just add beauty to your life and add value to it? And I love to. My wife and I keep a gratitude journal. It's really nice to go through and think through the previous days and to write down the people that were in it that we either saw adding value to others or that added value to us or that just did something beautiful made the world a better place to be in, and write them down. Especially in a season like we're in now with COVID, I think it's really important to focus on all the good things. Don't focus on the problem. Don't focus on the difficulties any more than necessary. Try to see every good thing around you, every person who's making a difference, every person who's putting their heart into something to help somebody else, every person who's demonstrating a good attitude and hope for the future, even though we don't even know what the future is going to look like. But value each flower. Years ago, the singer Donovan wrote an album called The Gift of a Flower to a Garden. And sometimes it seems like, well, hey, we could miss that one flower and it'd still be beautiful if you have enough of them. But you know what? It's going to be different. Every member of an orchestra is needed. The sound of that orchestra would be different if any one particular member was not there. So just keep in mind, sometimes we don't feel very significant. We don't feel like we're making much of a difference. But what we're adding to the world and to those around us, even if it's in little ways that you might not even think are a big deal, even if it's in little ways, it's beautiful to them. And I found that sometimes things that seem very small to me make a big difference to other people. And so we just need to keep doing that and appreciate those flowers in our lives who are adding that value to us and who are beautifying the world around us. And next thing is just keep at it. Keep at it. I think perseverance is so important. Napoleon Hill wrote about it in his book Think and Grow Rich. Perseverance is one of the most important qualities because it can take a lot longer than we expect. But just keep at it. Trust the process and trust that what you're becoming on the inside may be more important than and probably is, than what you're experiencing on the outside. So many people who have been world leaders have gone through tremendous difficulty, but it's what they became and how they came to view things and the character that they developed as a result of those difficulties that enabled them to make their greatest impact on the world around them. So keep at it. Don't give up. Don't give up. That's the worst thing any of us can ever do, is just give up. Give up on who we wanted to be, give up on what we wanted to do. Just don't give up. Just keep at it. You may be going slowly. You might be taking baby steps. But hey, baby steps will eventually get you there if you don't give up. Like Zig Ziglar once said, it's hard to stop a person who never gives up. So we want to be those people who don't give up. So we'll just keep on at it. And lastly, realize that even if your garden doesn't look like what your vision is right now for it, that to somebody else, it might be just absolutely gorgeous. It might make their day. We had a friend stop by last week, and we toured her around the garden, and she was just amazed by things. And we're like, well, we're working on this and working on it. She's like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So what we don't think is all that might still add value and beauty to somebody else. So just realize that what you've already got, not what you want, but what you already have. See how it can add value to other people and help beautify their day and their world. And so I hope that these ideas have been beneficial to you. It's been a privilege for me to share them with you. I'm so glad that you tuned in. I hope you're doing well in this difficult season. I hope you're putting in good thoughts and focusing on all the positive things that are going around, as opposed to all the challenges and the bad news reports and things like that. I hope that you're filling your mind with good things. And I hope that this has been a small part of that. If there's any way I can help you, the team, anybody, just feel free to reach out to me. You can find me at jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com, and Bird is with a Y, B-Y-R-D, and that's jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. My website is the same. It's jeffbyrdcoaching.com if you want to check out anything else. And I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to help you if I can. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, God bless you and take good care.